guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So you are back for another episode of Max's Gut Choice, and it is the first episode of 2025 because you will be seeing this on the 2nd of January. I hope your January has got off to a wonderful start. Now, for those of you that are not aware of what Max's Gut Choice is, let me explain. I got this off my Amazon wish list. It was gifted to me by Mike. And inside there are 60-ish of these little bonbons of yarn. They are not the nicest of quality. Oh no. So I don't want a wearable. I don't want a blanket or anything snuggly. So I didn't really know what to do with them. But I had a 2-year-long segment on my channel last year that ended in July of 2024, and I knew that I needed to replace it with something. So one evening I pulled one of these out of the bag and I started playing around with it. Now these are Mira handcrafts. Come on, camera. There we go. They are 100% acrylic, a DK or lightweight 3, 10 grams approximately, and I stress approximately, 22 yards or 20 meters. They are made in China, wash up to 30 degrees Celsius, do not tumble, do not iron, do not bleach, dry clean with P. Recommends a 3.75 to a 4.5 millimeter needles and a 4.5 to a 5.5 millimeter hook. That is all the information that I can give you. Now, when I pulled one of these out to play around with them, I thought, oh, let's just do a square. I love making squares. I don't like putting them together so much, but that is a me problem for the future. I decided, and this will be in US terminology, guys, because even though I'm from the UK, I use US terminology as much as possible. It just makes more sense to me. I did 4 rounds of traditional granny square using double crochet clusters. I do not chain between my clusters and I do turn my square after every round. I then did a 5th round of half double crochet clusters, and I was doing a complete last round of single crochet in every stitch. In my corners, I do a cluster chain 2 cluster or a single chain 2 single depending on what round I am on. It is not my pattern, it's just a stitch thing that I did. But very quickly I was finding that I was playing yarn chicken with these way more than I wanted to. So I scrapped the single crochet round in the same colour yarn and I went digging in my stash, and in my stash I found this beaut. I had 2 of them originally. I have since been gifted with many more from 2 lovelies that watch this channel. This is I Love This Yarn print from Hobby Lobby. And it is candy stick stash made in Turkey, 5 ounces or 142 grams, 252 yards or 230 meters. Recommends a 5 millimeter needles or a 5.5 millimeter hook, 100% acrylic. This is a 4-weight or Aran yarn. Wash up to 40 degrees Celsius. You can tumble, do not iron, do not bleach, dry clean using A. And I decided that I would do the 5 rounds of this colour on camera with you, and then I would off camera fasten off my ends and weave them in and put the single crochet round in this colour on all of them. And in the one project I have made with them so far, I joined the squares using this as well. This is the 2nd skein that I have cracked into, but I still have plenty and it makes me so happy. I am using my 5.5 millimeter dots. There we go. And last week I had 2 to border, which was a white and a royal purple. Now, how does Max come in? Max is the youngest of my 3 boys. He is 12. He doesn't appear on the videos, but secretly and without me knowing, he decides to go into the bag of bonbons, which is looking painfully low now, and he picks either 1, 2, or 3 of these bonbons. He has got free reign on how many and free reign on colour choice. And then he puts his choice into Gutt. Now, Gutt is this black, gorgeous bin here. The backstory of this bin is when I was a child, we had a silver metal bin that we used to stuff the guts full of our hats, gloves, and scarves for the winter. So Max's choice goes into Gutt, therefore Max's Gutt choice. I then come on here on a Thursday and I reveal what is in the bin on camera with you. I do not peek, I do not sneak, I do not want to spoil the surprise. I love the fact that other podcasters get their family involved, and that is what I have done for this. Like I said, Max fills it without me knowing, and I reveal at the same time to myself as I do to you. Then we make the squares together on the video. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we need to see what Max has in store for us this week. Let me just tidy up a few things around me and we will look inside of Gutt. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I have not peeked. I do not know how many and what colours this time. Oh, it's another 2-weeker, and it is grey and royal blue. Woohoo! Right. So, grab your drink, grab your project. Bear with me just a second while I pause. I'll be right back with you to make them. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It was about a second for you and about 10 minutes for me. I do apologise. Mike came back from dropping Connor to work and I needed to let him know a couple of details. And then Liam, my middle boy, he needed to go for a shower, and because we only have one bathroom in our house, I always ask them to check whether anyone needs the loo before they get in. So I went and did that. So there we go, you're all caught up. So yes, a 2-weeker. Now let's get started with Max's Gutt Choice episode 23. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to start with the grey, just why not? I will get my magic ring sorted and then I will pull the camera down a little bit. Not that I ever really show my crocheting because I can't hold my project up. It's too awkward and it gets uncomfortable very, very quickly. So I will just get that secured. Pull you down slightly. There we go. Ooh, lots of yarn. Nice. Okay, so I always find that I am about a week behind the times on these videos because I film a week in or a week ahead. So I am filming this on Saturday the 28th of December. I'm doing my batch filming for the week. So you are nearly a week further in time than when I film. So I always kind of give you news that's like a week old, but that's the best I can do. It's what works for me. Those of you that are joining in with me on this, it was never a crochet along, but a couple of you loved the idea and wanted to join in too. Let's just see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8 bonbons left in the bag, so we will be done with this segment fairly soon. Okay, that's row number 1 on the grey done. Let me see if I can lean back and show you a little bit more of my crocheting. So yes, what I'm going to talk about with you today is old news in your time, but like I said, it is the best that I can do because it is still relevant to me. Like I said, I'm filming on Saturday the 28th of December, so for me Christmas was only 2 or 3 days ago, but like I said, by the time you watch this it will be well over a week ago. But if I don't talk about it in this episode, I will never have filled you in on what happened for us. If you heard the door, that's Mike. He's just coming in to settle down for a bit. Gonna say hi?
Hello.
He's suffering with a bit of a headache today, so I've told him to take some painkillers, have a drink, and possibly a snooze to try and get rid of it. But yeah, he's just got back from dropping Connor to work. So yeah, I'm just basically going to fill you in on our Christmas, if that's all right, because I need something to chat about while I sit and make these with you. Um, yeah, it was a lovely Christmas, one of the best Christmases we've had in a few years. We were all spoilt, absolutely rotten, and more than. Um, we're extremely lucky to have the family that we do. And yeah, so every year we go and spend Christmas at my parents'. It's something I've done pretty much my whole life. There has only been a few Christmases that I haven't spent at my parents', and they were not that great, to be honest. For me, Christmas is my mum and dad, and for however long they are willing to host, will be however long I will continue to go and spend time with them, because it is just my most favourite time of the year in general, but also my favourite time of the year to have quality time at my parents' house. Us all being together and just having a really lovely time. So we normally go for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then we come home the day after. So yeah, we spend the 3 nights there. That's what we did this year. So we packed up, we got there for Christmas Eve. Yes, I did get all of my wrapping done, because obviously the last episode of this you watched, I still had all my wrapping to do. I did get it done. It was a bit of a mad rush. I even had to do some last minute gift buying and wrapping. Um, but it was sorted in the end, like I knew it would be. I think, moving forward, and I say this every year and it doesn't happen, but I may as well say it again, because why not? I think when I start buying for Christmas, I need to start wrapping as I go, so that I'm not doing everything in like 1 or 2 days, because it's a bit much. But I did get it done. Everything was sorted. On the Monday, which is the day before Christmas Eve, Mike and I actually drove all of the gift bags and such to my parents. So all of that was already there. And obviously, we had a cup of coffee and a chat and whatever, which meant on Christmas Eve, when my boys finally got back from 4 days with their dad, we were able to get our bags packed with clothing that we'd need for our little mini break, um, and just jump in the car and go, because all of the presents and such were delivered there the day before. So we got there, well, Mike and a couple of the kiddos got there for about 1ish, I think, in the afternoon. I got there a little later than that because I wanted to go and visit two of my granddad's graves, to lay some flowers, to wish them a Merry Christmas and make it known that they weren't forgotten on the festive season. So me and a couple of the kiddos did that first, but then we arrived at my parents', and then it was literally just a case of, catching up a bit, having a drink, getting ourselves sorted and situated. We then had dinner, and the children had their Christmas Eve boxes, which traditionally they have a new set of pajamas amongst a lot of other bits and pieces. So then they were having their showers and getting into their fresh, clean jammies. And then I don't really know what happened. It kind of descended into chaos, but in a good way. I decided that for once I was going to enjoy a couple of tipples, a couple of adult beverages that evening. And because I had been on painkillers for quite some time with my poorly tooth, um, the adult beverages hit me between the eyes much quicker than anticipated. And I was rather merry. Um, and there was dancing, there was singing, it was just a really, really good time. Um, can't remember all of it, but I know that it ended well and a lot of fun was had by all. So yeah, a bit of a tipsy Christmas Eve, but that's okay. We then did last minute present set up and stuff before we went to bed. We also have the tradition where we use wrapping paper to cover the entrance into the room where Santa has left all the gifts. So Mike and I papered over the door before we went to bed as well. We made sure that we were all set up for the morning. We then trundled off to bed. I didn't get to sleep until about 2 a.m., but that's fine. And then it was about 8 a.m. that we were woken by Max. Bless him, he had been awake for far longer than that, but he waited until 8 a.m. before waking everyone up. Now, traditionally, if they wake up in the night, I've told them that they can have their stockings and then wait until a reasonable hour before they come into us. But this year they all came and did their stockings in with Mike and I, which was quite nice. Um, so yeah, we did the stockings and had like a cup of tea and stuff. One, two, three, four, and then it was time to go downstairs and see what Santa had left for everybody. And normally I just let the children dig in and have a chaotic flurry of present unwrapping and exclamations of joy, and it all just be a free for all. But this year, because the children are older and I don't always get to see their reaction or know exactly who got what for them, I asked them to do it in a bit more controlled manner and take turns so that everyone could see what they got. I could take pictures and video clips if I wanted, if it was a particularly special present. And it also meant that the present unwrapping lasted a lot longer, which was brilliant. It kind of took us near enough up to time to have our Christmas dinner. We had a gorgeous Christmas dinner as always. My parents traditionally do a prawn or shrimp cocktail for some of us, pate and toast for those that don't like the prawns or shrimps, whatever you call them. Couple of the kids have cheese and crackers, and then Max, who doesn't like any of that, he normally has a little stack of Pringles as his little mini starter. Um, so we had our starters, and then we had the main event, which was our big roast turkey with all the trimmings. It was absolutely delicious. Um, we then had our dessert as well. That was absolutely delicious. My mum had made a Biscoff cheesecake, and oh man, was it yummers. It was gorgeous. Then after we had had lunch, my mum had arranged games for the children to play to earn their main present. They had had a few bits to unwrap, but then there was money as part of their gift this year, and they had to play the game to win or earn their money. So Max had a treasure hunt, and my mum had come up with all of the rhymes and clues for him to do. I think there was about 22 clues, which took him to various places in her home to find the next clue and then the next one, etc., until he found his grand prize. So he had an awful lot of fun with that. And then Liam, my middle boy, he got to play a homemade version of a UK game show called Deal or No Deal. So he played that. and that was super fun for him. And it got all of us involved, which was nice. And then Connor had one of the spinny wheels with all the rainbow colours and the clicky thing. He had to answer 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so the grey one's done. I'm talking that much. I've flown through that one. Here we go. It's the grey one. Just going to have to reach off camera. Oh, no, I'm not. To grab the end of that one because it ran away. So that's the grey done. Onto the royal blue. Yeah, so he had to answer trivia questions, and if he got it correct, he got to spin the wheel, and there were different monetary amounts on the different segments of the spinning wheel. And I was told, the amount he was playing for, and it was up to me to keep tally of what he had won and obviously stop the game when he had reached the target. So that was quite fun. And that meant that the afternoon was taken up with a lot of laughter and a lot of fun, which was awesome. And then what did we do then? And also my nan on my mum's side, she came up to join us to have Christmas dinner with us and spend some time with us in the afternoon. She is in her 80s, so it was lovely to see her and have her with us for Christmas. And then there was a little bit more present exchanging. And then we were so exhausted and kind of pooped that we didn't have a super late night on Christmas Day. I think I was tucked up and fast asleep by 11 p.m., which is early for me. But obviously the frivolities and the alcohol from the night before wiped me out. So yeah, it was a really good sleep Christmas night in that respect. And then Boxing Day, and also my brother was at my parents' for all of Christmas as well. And then on Boxing Day, we got the door papered over again because my two nephews, my brother's boys, came to be with us for a big chunk of Boxing Day, which was super lovely. So they got to burst through the door and see what Santa had left them. And we got to see them unwrap their presents from everyone, which was super lovely because mine are that much older now that some of the magic of Christmas has gone because they're all grown up and they're not little anymore. So a little bit of that was injected back into my mum's house by having my nephews there. So that was lovely to see them unwrap their presents. And then it was just a case of getting all the buffet food cooked and like the leftover cold meats from the dinner the previous day, and cheeses and crackers and pickles and salad, and all the buffet type foods like sausage rolls and spring rolls, and I don't know, my mum made a couple of quiches and she went all out. She really did. She even made homemade millionaire shortbread. She made homemade Rocky Road. There was so much. There was lots of snacky foods as well, like crisps, or what we call crisps, you call chips, and nibbles and chocolates and sweets, and you name it, it was there on the table. And once it is all cooked and laid out, it is left there for the rest of the day for people to keep grazing at all day long. That is the food for the day, and I really enjoy a buffet. It is absolutely immense, and they do an incredible buffet. They really do. So yeah, that was the buffet. We obviously played games with the nephews, their new toys and stuff that they had been gifted with. We watched a film with them while they were there. And then they went home at about 6 p.m. So then we got out a couple of board games, and we had some fun playing the board games. And that was how we rounded off Boxing Day. And then the very next day, it was a case of gathering everything up, packing it all back up and putting it in the car and coming home. Then, of course, when you get home, you've got to find homes for all of the new items. You've got to get all the laundry done. And yeah, the coming home bit isn't quite as enjoyable as the going away bit, but you have to do it. So we got all that done in a really reasonable time, and then just chilled for the evening. And then today I have spent my time, because obviously I'm filming on Saturday the 28th. I have spent my day filming this week's content. So yeah, you are all caught up. Now, I am not going to go through gifts and stuff that people got because there's nothing really channel related to talk to you about. It was more personal gifts and monetary gifts, and I'm not about to go into any of that on YouTube. I am just going to say, look, like I did at the beginning, we were all truly spoiled and truly blessed, and we are so thankful and appreciated. And yeah, it was just so super, super lovely to have such amazing quality family time. It really, really was, guys. I don't know, it was just absolutely wonderful. I got absolutely zero crafting done, like I knew I wouldn't, because we were so busy over Christmas being together. So I didn't do a stitch from Christmas Eve morning right the way through until we came home from my parents and chilled on the Friday. So that is nearly a week of not crafting, but it's okay. Um, I was busy concentrating on being present and with my loved ones and having fun with them, and it was a really nice break. To be fair, it's made me, fired up to get my hook flying and projects being made. So yeah, having a break sometimes does fire you up to get things going. So there we go. Right. I got confused about where I was, but that's okay. Right, do that. Right, come on. I had a mind blank then. Silly, silly. So yeah, it was just so, so wonderful. And it was so nice of everyone being together, because I am mindful of the fact that next year my eldest Connor is going to be 18. And that may mean that because, the legal age to go to the pub for a drink and stuff is 18, that it might be a case of he spends Christmas morning with us, he has his Christmas dinner with us, but then he might want to go out and socialise down the pub with his friends. So this may have actually been kind of the last Christmas that everybody is there for the whole thing. And I really wanted to immerse myself in it and enjoy every second of it, which I did. Obviously, being away for 3 nights, not in your own bed, you don't get the best of sleep. So even though my parents really are the hostesses with the mostess, um, they and I get a break. I didn't have to cook, I didn't have to do all the running around and looking after everybody. It was still quite exhausting because you're not in your own bed. There is so much going on and so much that you get involved with, that actually I think I need a 3-day break to get over Christmas. But it's all right, it's all good. It was well worth it, and I am not complaining at all, because I now have some wonderful, wonderful memories to put in the memory bank. I will cherish this Christmas for a very long time, and I will be thankful for it when I am sadly in the situation where not everyone is around to be together. So yeah, it was wonderful. And I really hope that you guys watching had a lovely one. If you didn't, I'm so sorry to hear that. I did try and make sure that there was content so that none of you felt alone. Um, I wish I could include you all in Christmases that I have, because they are amazing, but sadly that isn't possible. And obviously, if you don't celebrate Christmas, I just hope you had a really lovely week. Um, but yeah, Christmas is a huge, big deal to me and my family. So I did want to give you a kind of catch up about that, even though you're watching this in just the beginning of the new year. I did want to chat about it with you. But yes, we have a whole bright and shiny new year that we're going into, which always fills me with excitement. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I used to, but then I got so depressed every year when I didn't actually keep them and stick to them that I just thought I'm not going to set myself up for failure anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I need to do half. Okay. Yeah, so I don't do New Year's resolutions. I will have some kind of goals for the channel for 2025, but I'm still ironing them out. Next week will be the week where I start talking more about what we're planning for with the channel, you know, what plans we've got moving forward. But I just wanted to get Christmas and the whole of 2024 wrapped up this week. So forgive me to still be talking about 2024, but I promise after today, I believe that is 2024 truly wrapped up completely. Apart from obviously this segment, I think this will be one of the only ones I bring forward. I don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing and thinking that through. I haven't set any concrete guidelines, or specific plans as of yet, but by next week I will have. So look forward to that video to see what the plan is for Manfa and Manfa's makes in 2025. What about you guys? Do you guys still do New Year's resolutions? How do you spend your New Year's? Now, it still hasn't happened for me at the time of filming, but obviously by the time you're watching, it will have happened. I think we're just going to have a pretty chilled New Year, to be honest. I think we're planning a takeaway and just chilling, watching a bit of TV. We will see in the new year by watching it on the TV, the fireworks at midnight in London. And then it will be quick clean up and head to bed for us. Nothing super special, nothing super exciting, but again, all together. And I'm sure it went down absolutely fine. I'm sure it was a nice, pleasant evening. It normally is. Normally we put out a buffet for New Year, but I said to Mike, let's not. Let's chill out. Let's do the, less stress and pressure way. Let's treat ourselves to a takeaway because we very rarely get a takeaway. So we thought, why not? Let's start the new year with a treat and without any of us having to cook. So that's exactly what we plan on doing. So yeah, let me know, what did you do for New Year? Did it go well? How is January starting for you? Have you got any New Year's resolutions? You got any goals that you wish to share? Anything like that, pop in the comments. I always love to read your comments. I do read all of them. I like them and I heart them. I just cannot respond to all of them because there are not enough hours in the day, guys. So here we go. Here is the royal blue one. So like I said, off camera, I will fasten off and weave in my ends, and I will add that gorgeous candy stick stripe to those and bring them back next week to show you that they are indeed done. So that is that for episode 23. I hope you enjoyed that. I hoped you didn't mind the chitter chatter too much, but I managed to fill the time well. Yeah, and I'm super excited to start discussing with you what's to come. I love a new year. I love a fresh slate. I love the possibilities and the excitement that a new year brings with it. So yes, thanks for being here, and I will see you again next week. So have a fabulous weekend coming up as well, guys. So like I said, until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love you loads.